history where strange truths hide behind everyday words. Before we begin, put your headphones on, dim your lights, close your eyes and make yourself comfortable. Let your mind drift just a little, because what you're about to hear might change how you see the world. Imagine if one of the scariest movies ever made wasn't fiction. Not a legend, not a rumor, but a real event buried in church records and hospital logs. Tonight, you're going to hear the story behind The Exorcist, but not the Hollywood version. This is what really happened when a 14-year-old boy in 1949 became the center of America's most terrifying exorcism. But before we descend into darkness, let me know in the comments where and what time are you watching this video from. Let's see who else is brave enough to be awake for this one. Act 1, the beginning of possession. The story begins in a quiet suburb near Washington, D.C. A teenage boy known only by the pseudonym Rolando began experiencing things no one could explain. It started after his aunt, a spiritualist who introduced him to the Ouija board, passed away. Shortly after, Roland began hearing scratching sounds in the walls. Checks levitated. His mattress shook violently at night. Doctors couldn't explain it. Psychiatrists saw nothing wrong. But things kept getting worse. Act 2, desperation and fear. His deeply religious family turned to the church. Priests visited the home, but were disturbed by what they witnessed. Growling voices from the boy, objects flying, and words like hell and evil scratched into the skin as if by invisible hands. They contacted the Jesuits. One priest, Father William Bowdern, agreed to perform an exorcism, but only after the archdiocese gave official approval. From that moment, the horror began. Act 3, the exorcism. For weeks, in a hospital room in St. Louis, Father Bowdern and his team performed nightly exorcisms. Roland would thrash, curse in languages he never learned, and speak in voices that weren't his. He reacted violently to sacred objects. A crucifix thrown onto his chest left burn-like marks. Nurses and priests kept records documenting everything: blood, bites, voices. At one point, Roland broke a priest's nose. At another, he slipped into a coma-like state, and a voice, not his, declared, "I am Legion." Act 4, the breakthrough. But then something changed. One night in April, after more than 30 exorcisms, Roland awoke from one of his episodes and declared that the devil was gone. Witnesses say a loud noise echoed through the hospital. He smiled and never experienced another incident again. The church closed the case. Roland disappeared into anonymity. He reportedly lived a normal life, married, had children, never spoke of it again. Act 5, the aftermath and legend. The priests who witnessed it were forever changed, and one of the priests involved kept a diary. That diary inspired a man named William Peter Blatty to write a novel, The Exorcist. The movie terrified the world. People fainted. Some claimed to be cursed just watching it, but almost no one knew. It was based on a real boy, a real case, a real exorcism that shook even the most devout. So next time you hear the Latin chant from The Exorcist, remember it didn't come from Hollywood. It came from history. If you're still with me, take a deep breath. You made it. Sleep tight tonight. And remember, some stories are meant to stay buried, but history never sleeps.